everyone, let's have a quick chat about Vital Wheat gluten. Hi everyone, welcome to the Radical Geek YouTube channel. It is Monday and we're going to have just a real quick little discussion, subject that comes up in our groups on Facebook and in chats and in live streams and all over the internet, the great debate about Vital Wheat gluten. It's in tons and tons and tons of commercial keto bread recipes and a lot of homemade bread recipes that are supposed to be replacements for your old non-keto breads. And it's an additive. So, but inevitably, whenever the discussion around these products comes up, there's like a huge amount of debate and often definitely brings out the food police of nobody should ever eat that. And I'm not fond of telling people they can't eat things. I do have my opinions on some foods, and I do have an opinion about Vital Wheat gluten, but irrelevant because you have to make your choices and your decisions on what you're going to put in your body. But I do want you to be informed. Now, in one of those threads, I did post some videos, but if you aren't in there and you didn't see the group about these buns that have the Vital Wheat gluten in it, know that you can find some videos by Dr. Barry. He's got 2 or 3 of them out that talk about Vital Wheat gluten. Thomas DeLauer has a couple of them, including a very fun rant that he goes on about with the keto bread from Costco and I believe also Aldi. But and then the doctor who wrote the book Wheat Belly. So those are also really good start points for you to get through. There's also some studies from the Mayo Clinic that have come out and several other studies. So, but why did I pick up this today? Because I feel like I want to point you to those resources so that you can learn some of the information for yourselves. And then also to share a heads up as to why so many people do feel passionate about that, even if they don't realize that these are some of the things that cause some of the problems. So you should know that Vital Wheat gluten is part of a 4% of the gluten family and the wheat family that contain amylase trypsin inhibitors. Amylase trypsin inhibitors, ATIs. We'll just call them ATIs because that's, easy and not hard to say. So, it's a very small subset of your wheat, although in general, wheat is not a favored ingredient amongst your keto followers. And I will tell you that my neurologist and my cardiologist and my oncologist and several other doctors all tell me don't eat wheat. And I'd have a lot of reasons for that, which may not be your reasons. So, but I will tell you, so there are a lot of medical studies in medical journals. You can dig up, you could dig dive for weeks upon weeks upon weeks and read studies about Vital Wheat gluten and amylase trypsin inhibitors, ATIs. And what these studies have shown is that these ATIs show an immune response in the gut, and that response can also spread to other parts of the body like lymph nodes, kidneys, spleen, your brain, and that response causes inflammation. How many times when we've had conversations in the keto world about inflammation and how keto reduces inflammation? So if you're adding Vital Wheat gluten, then a product that causes inflammation for a large swath of the populace, are you potentially contributing to something that could impact your keto journey? again, you're going to have to do some self-experimentation. It's something that you have to do during your keto journey a lot. Can I eat this? You have to self-test. Self-test, see how you feel, eliminate things so you can narrow it down to find out if it's this product or that one over there. Does this spike my insulin? Does this, you have to test on yourself. You're your own guinea pig. And it's unfortunate, but while bodies have a lot of similarity, no two of us are identical. But when I say impacts a large swath of the populace, I'm saying more than 50%. So the other thing that these ATIs can do is that they can exacerbate some chronic conditions. So the ATIs have shown out through studies that they can exacerbate rheumatoid arthritis, multiple sclerosis, asthma, lupus, non-alcoholic fatty liver, and inflammatory bowel diseases. So if you have IBS or anything in that genre, again, the Vital Wheat gluten is not your friend. So those are some things, and those are some things that the Vital Wheat gluten impacts. By the way, the exacerbation and the inflammatory response is called non-celiac gluten sensitivity. So this is outside the realm of people with celiac disease, which we know is a small percentage of the populace. We used to think that only people with celiac had responses to wheat and wheat byproducts like Vital Wheat gluten, which is a part of the wheat. But as it turns out, we have this non-celiac gluten sensitivity, and as more medical research is done, we're learning more and more about it, et cetera, et cetera. Now, more studies, and what they are also showing is an impact to people with type 2 diabetes, where it exacerbates the insulin response, so causing more of your high spikes, which you do not want, and also leading towards inflammation and a general disruption of your blood sugar management. So that is why people get really worked up about Vital Wheat gluten. So inevitably, if it works for you and all your goals are still being achieved, by all means, you are a very lucky person and enjoy. But if you are even remotely impacted, you should know these are some of the things. By the way, Vital Wheat gluten in vegan products and vegetarian products is acetin, a fake meat. In the keto world, we get down on these, but they exist, and this is an all-welcoming channel, despite how it sounds at times. If you're vegetarian or vegan and you indulge in a lot of acetin and you seem to have trouble, like you've developed some chronic pain, going gluten-free and dumping that right out of your diet, you might try it out and see if you start feeling better within about 2 to 3 weeks. Yeah, that fast. So again, though, I am not a medical doctor. I just read a lot of medical nerd science. So with all things, it's not going to hurt you to take gluten out of your diet, but by all means, don't feel like you have to or you need to because rando radical geek on the internet told you to. I'm telling you to check it out for yourself. But if you want to eat it, by all means, eat it. But if you are experiencing issues, I would say that is a #1 space to look and pinpoint. I will say there are fewer studies that talk about Vital Wheat gluten and weight loss, but if you are part of our keto community, inflammation and diabetes type 2 are huge topics. And so if you are not, and also with weight loss, so if you have integrated Vital Wheat gluten into your diet and you're experiencing things like stall or spikes, or if you're feeling irritable and tired and logy, try cutting it out. It doesn't hurt to cut it out and see if you experience change. There's not a medical test for non-celiac gluten sensitivity. other than your self-testing and experimentation in cutting it out and seeing if you feel better. Cutting it out, you'll know right away because within like days, you will have a, a drop of inflammation and water retention. So you'll feel that in your body, on your joints, and in just in general. So that's it for today. Like I said, I think you should definitely feel empowered to research. Take a good look at it and feel free to ask questions if you need more detail or something like that. Or share your experience with having gone gluten free in the comments below. Always appreciated. You know, I love when we interact together. Um, Shoot the breeze. Talk to me about anything in the comments. Let's talk about, more coffee things you want to hear about before our Sunday live streams. Tell me some recipes you want to see made. Tell me some recipes you want developed. All that fun stuff that's not this, intense like controversy. Because while I'm glad to talk about it and share with you my experience as someone with non-celiac gluten sensitivity, because I have rheumatoid arthritis and uh, I don't know. Actually, this is a weird story. As I've tested positive for celiac disease in the past because I had the antibodies. But once I had been keto for a few years and also was in remission for a few years, I no longer had those antibodies. And I don't know if it's simply because I didn't, my body is no longer making them because by going keto, I went gluten free just as a byproduct, or what. Also, my oncologist says, technically you're getting a lot of infusions. It's possible that you tested positive for somebody else's celiac disease. It might have been in part of their blood in your system. And I'm like, that sounds crazy. I don't know if that's a true thing that can happen, but he was stabbing in the dark, and it's still kind of a mystery. But I do know that anytime I eat gluten, I get very, very ill feeling. So uh, there's my personal self test to say, like, don't eat that. So have a good one. I'll talk to you on Wednesday. Leave some comments. Let's have ourselves a nice time, and we'll have another fun topic on Wednesday. By the way, I'm hoping that like Keto Crate shows up sometime this year. It's already the 15th, and I don't have it, and it shipped ages ago. But I love ripping those products apart. I love when I find good ones that we really all can enjoy and they're spectacular, but I also like whining and complaining about them. So I'll see you soon. Talk to you later. Bye bye. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not subscribed. Hit the little bell icon, yada, yada, yada. Bye bye for reals.